Bans are really interesting to me, and everything you're saying resonates with me because I come from politics, and we all know that conservatives on a lot of these, in a lot of these locations, social media, YouTube, wherever it may be, oftentimes will say, I've been banned, and they've been talking about the vaccine or whatever it is that they're talking about. So when somebody gets banned, to me, that immediately becomes interesting. And that's when I start digging. It kind of reminds me in politics when Sarah Palin was chosen as the vice presidential nominee and all of media landed in Wasilla, Alaska to try to dig up dirt on her. She suddenly became interesting. I was like, okay, well, they hate her, so there must be something worthwhile here. Let me go figure out what it is. So I think that a lot of my political background kind of bled into this kind of beautifully. And what I did is I went, and not because I'm a huge Andrew Tate fan or anything like that, but because he's an interesting figure. He's being talked about. He's now been banned. I don't support bans on people. I believe that that's a coward's way out. Most people who ban don't have the intellectual caliber to debate, and so they want to silence people. We saw that happen during the COVID times these last 2 years. I was one of the people that everyone wanted shut up for just telling the truth, so I get it. And I dug in, and truthfully, I watched hours of Tate content, hours and hours of content. I watched the two things that I mentioned, and I watched long form interviews because I wanted to assess for myself whether I felt that those little clips were really taking him out of context. And as it turns out, I agree. They are. That's not surprising to me. But I had a really hard time being outraged by him. And he and I don't see eye to eye on everything. There were definitely times where I said, I don't agree with that, or saw things differently. But it wasn't a situation ever that I saw content from him that I said, this guy needs to be removed, that there was something so heinous about him or what he was saying that he needed to be removed. So that was my takeaway. And I immediately, thought about what's going on when it comes to big tech, thought about the people that have been labeled misinformation. And it just seems like this is a conversation that's a lot bigger than Tate. I agree it affects, you, it affects me, it affects anyone with a microphone. So I really invite people out there. I don't care if you like or dislike what Andrew Tate is saying. If you don't want to be next on the chopping block because somebody decides that your opinion isn't good or isn't in line with the groupthink that's being, labeled as right in this moment, then you should oppose these bans. If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.